Hello, welcome to the homework review for homework 2.1, Making Similar Figures. In class, we've been talking about the mugwumps, how we have mugwump, and we want to make copies of mugwump by applying rules to the x and y. And we talked about what makes them similar and what makes them not similar. So this is just more practice about the mugwumps. They give you the table with the coordinates. And they tell you that glum is 1.5x and 1.5y. So glum is made by taking the mugwump and multiplying each of the values by 1.5. Sum is created by taking the values of mug and multiplying the x by 3 and the y by 2. Tum, you multiply both values by 4. And crumb, you only multiply the x by 2 and you multiply the y by 1. You leave it the same. There's the coordinates. Now, before you find coordinates or plots, predict which characters are the imposters. This is could be a guess, it could be an educated guess, but looking at these, do you think that glum is an imposter, sum is an imposter, tum, or crumb? And as in, are they really not similar to mugwump? I'm going to guess that sum and crumb are imposters, because to me it looks a little funny that they're not multiplied by the same values. Okay. Now you can complete the table. So there's what your coordinates should look like. That if you have 1.5x and 1.5y, then you just take all your values, you multiply by 1.5. So glum goes to 3, 3, 9, 3, 9, 4.5, 3, 4.5, 3, 3. Sum, and then down here, 4.5, 6, 6, 7.5, 7.5, 6, 4.5, 6. Sum goes to 6, 4, 18, 4, 18, 6, 6, 6, 6, 4, and so on. So you can take a look at this chart and you can compare it to your values. But basically you're multiplying for glum everything by 1.5. For sum, you're multiplying all your x's by 3, all your y's by 2, tum by 4, both your x and your y, and crumb only your x by 2, and your y stays the same. That's completing the table. Now if you go to draw them, I'm going to scroll down, and this is what they should look like. Mug is just our mug with his nose and his mouth. Glum, here's glum, here's sum, and here's tum, and here's crumb. So again, so you can compare your pictures. There's glum, sum, tum, and crumb. And let's go back up to our questions. All right, so which one of the new characters are members of the lump and which are imposters? Well, we were right. Glum and tum are members because they're just bigger versions, where sum and crumb are imposters. So let's go look at those pictures again. Glum and tum are members. So if we look at mug and we look at glum, yeah, I can see it's the same shape. Yep. And I look at tum, it's the same shape. But not so much for sum, because my triangle just doesn't look quite right. And crumb. It also looks a little smushed. Choose one of the new wumps. How do the mouth and nose measurements, everything, the side lengths, perimeter, area, and angle measurements compare with those of mugwump? So if you pick glum, one of the ones that are new, you have to pick one of the ones that are actually not imposters. They are members of the family. For glum, everything is 1.5 times bigger. So your nose length is 1.5 bigger, your mouth is 1.5 times bigger, your perimeter is 1.5 times bigger. Remember, the angles are always the same. As your similar figures, your angles are the same. The area is 2.5 times bigger, because remember, your area increases by your scale factor, and since it's one scale factor squared, so since your scale factor is 1.5, everything's 1.5 times bigger, then your area is 2 and 25 hundredths times bigger. So here we go. Your mouth is 1.5 units, and the width is 6 units, the nose is 3 units, and the height is 1.5 units. So there's a lot of work there, but if you take your time and work through it, I think you can get these answers. Tum was a little bit easier because he was 4 times bigger, not 1.5. So the lengths are all 4 times as long. The perimeter is 4 times as long. The angles are the same because they're similar. The area is 16 times as large, again, because it's 4 times as large. Each side is 4 times longer. So 4 times longer times 4 times longer gives you 16 times as much as area. His mouth is 16 units by 4 units, and his nose is 8 units by 4 units. For the imposters, it changes. The height of the mouth, so for some, the height of the mouth and the height of the nose are 2 times as long, while the width is 3 times as long. So again, we made it 2 times taller but 3 times wider. So we're no longer similar. So our angles aren't going to be the same. We're not going to worry about calculating area or anything like that because they're not similar. But the key thing here is that we increase the height by 2 times and the width by 3 times, which gives it a new width of 12 units wide and 2 units high. And the nose is 6 units wide and 2 units high. So again, we're not doing the same thing to both the height and the width. We made it wider than we made it taller. Crumb, the heights of the mouth and the nose are the same because we didn't change the y values, but the width is 2 times as long because we did change the width. We multiplied all the x's times 2. So again, it's not similar because we didn't change the y at all, but we changed the x to make it twice as wide. Does this support our predictions? Yes. By looking at, if we go back up and look, we can tell glum is going to be similar because glum is 1.5 times your x and 1.5 times your y. And tum is going to be similar because it's 4x, 4 times your x and 4 times your y, where sum not and crumb is not. So because they're not multiplying your x and your y by the same value. So it's a key concept for this course. Okay, secret word. I can't believe I forgot to do the secret word up to now. The secret word is jazz band because I spent last night at the jazz band concert at the competition and it was amazing. I really liked it. So again, jazz band. And I think that answers all the questions. Again, there's what your picture should have looked like. And that's it. Thank you for watching.